Extra Street is jam-packed with a variety of booths, including ours here at KMVT. And if you come on by and visit our booth, you will see a replay on a flat screen of Sarah versus St. Francis football. And since I'm joined by the brand new head coach for St. Francis football, I know you're enjoying that replay since that game turned out in your favor. Nick Navarro, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's a real privilege to be here.
We had your AD on earlier, Michael Pulowski, who was letting us know that you were just the 5th head coach in the history of St. Francis High School as far as football is concerned. Congratulations. How does that make you feel?
It's a true privilege and honor. There's a lot of learning that I've never experienced before, this being my first head coaching job. I'm filling in for a long line of great coaches at St. Francis. So, my goal is to try and, keep the tradition that they started alive and, just try and maintain the level of performance that they've had before me and see if we can't even maybe elevate that to a new level.
And Navarro won't be the only head coach with the last name Navarro. Nick here, his father, Dan Navarro, the head coach at Mountain View. I understand it's his last year. What a career he's had over there.
Long time for him over there. I actually worked with him for a number of years, about 7 total. I was his defensive coordinator for a long period of time, and then I left him to go be a graduate assistant football coach at the University of Georgia, which he was very proud father at that point in time. Then I came back to this area and got my teaching credential and ended up getting hired at St. Francis across the street. So,
I have to ask you, what's it like being at the program at University of Georgia?
Incredible. 95,000 people show up to see you, and it's absolute insanity. But they're just there to support you and behind you 100%. It's great. It's a great environment, great atmosphere for kids.
And the Bulldog?
The Bulldog is awesome. I used to play with him before every game. It was a great opportunity to see a wonderful little creature.
I would think your players would love to hear about that, because I know when they bring that Bulldog on TV, it always brings a smile to my face.
Fantastic.
Well, let's talk a little St. Francis football. There's always so many expectations for any of the West Catholic Athletic League football teams. How do you feel your season is looking?
Well, after our first 2 games, we won 1 and we tied 2 nights ago against Palma. It was a very good football program. I think we're going to be in the hunt in any game that we approach. It's going to be a fight. I talk to our kids all the time about the competition level we play is so good. It's so fierce that we almost have to be perfect. We can't make mistakes. We got to execute on every opportunity we get. But I think with doing the right things, our kids can be in any game with anybody we play by doing those small things that'll put us at the door of any victory.
Now you take over for Mike Mitchell, who certainly established himself as one of the premier coaches in the area, but you had a chance to work alongside him. What do you feel that you learned the most from Coach Mitchell?
Just how St. Francis has done things for a number of years. I know he worked for Ron Calcagno, who was a great football coach, and he took over for him. And so I got some insight into how St. Francis does things, how St. Francis has been successful, and it's provided me with some foundation for what I need to continue to be successful and how I can build on it from there.
When you found out you got the job, what was your reaction?
I'll take it.
Well, that's a good reaction.
It was real quick. I thought about it. I talked about it a lot with people if the opportunity arose, and just looking into the future of what I wanted to do and be, and obviously that was a huge opportunity. So when the moment came, there was really no need to think about it any longer. I'd already I was there and ready to go and ready to get started and excited.
What was the reaction from the team?
I think the kids were really excited. I think they were happy. We'd had a whole year together with me as the offensive coordinator, so I think that they knew who I was and what they were getting in a coach, and I knew who they were and what the players were like and what we needed to do to be successful, especially after the year we had last year. So I think it was a real good transition into that.
Well, we will be there next Friday night, KMBT, Los Gatos, St. Francis. What can we expect?
The Lancers will be coming out on top of that one, I think.
I love the predictions, but Los Gatos, year after year, they get it done.
They are a fantastic team. I think we prepared them well. I think we're actually working on it today, getting ready. I think if we put it together the way we're capable of putting it together, we should come out on top.
Well, Coach Navarro, congratulations on the job and good luck for the season. Nick
Thank
Navarro,
you.
the head coach for St. Francis High football. Let's get back to the crowd.
The Art and Wine Festival with Jeff Treytel. So what do you do here? Well, Mark, I'm actually taking this opportunity to get my work out in front of the public, because this is how I make my living. It's not a hobby.
So I'm seeing a bunch of these sculptures around here. They seem to be made from some different materials. What's your primary use?
Well, actually, they're not made of different materials. They're all bronze. The colors are all achieved chemically. They're like chemical oxidations on the surface of the metal, so that just like steel will oxidize red-brown, we call it rust, the bronze, under different chemical influences, can be coaxed into giving you all kinds of different colors.
Wow, that's a really surprising method of doing this. I'm impressed. So how did you get it started with sculptures?
Well, I've been sculpting 42 years, so that was a long time ago. But once upon a time, when I was about 18, I had a roommate, and I was not into art at all, and he was very much into art. And he was copying a Mayan mask off the cover of a book on Mexican art. And I made the comment about why wasn't he doing something original rather than copying something that had already been done. And he's told me to, well, you can imagine what he told me. And to do it myself if I didn't like what he was doing. And I wound up going across the street and buying 50 pounds of clay and plunking it down on my kitchen table and starting to work. And that's really how it started.
That's a great story. So how do you go about creating something like this? Is there an initial concept? What's your inspiration for this?
I start with an idea, not so much about what something looks like. It's generally an abstraction. So what does a relationship look like? What does insecurity look like? What does being a product of your decisions look like? How do you interpret those visually? Now, like, initially you would look at this large piece that I'm touching here, hot jazz, and think that it's a man with a saxophone. But for me, it's not. What it is the essence of jazz itself. That's why when I start with this, you'll see this sharp edge on the pants right here. When I think about what happens when you blow into a saxophone really hard, you get a squeal. It's that sharp edge, and that's what that sharp edge is. As the musician's air dissipates, that sound becomes very fluid and it starts to melt. So here, one leg is sharp and angular, the other is sort of melted and flowing shapes. So it's trying to capture the variety of sounds that happens when you play the saxophone. The keys are shaped like notes and move right over the musician's hand. So the keys, and here they bounce right over the musician's hand. So it's not so much the man with the saxophone, but the music that he's playing. And his music is so hot that the finger is actually melting.
That's really an amazing way of doing this. Well, thank you, and we hope to see more great artists like Jeff Treytel here. Treytel.
Okay, I'm here with David Jude, a member of the board, one of the members of the board of directors of KMVT, also if I get this right, the chairman-elect of the Chamber of Commerce here in Mountain View and co-chair of the Art and Wine Festival. So Dave, can you tell us how do you think the Art and Wine Festival is going?
This year it's going really well. The weather is really cooperating. Yesterday was a wonderful day. We had a lot of people in the streets. There's over 600 vendors right here and merchants that well, told us, not all of them, but the one that we talked to, we're really happy about what's happening. There's a lot of people in the streets, and since the weather is helping us as well, everybody's enjoying it right now. So we're having a very good year.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. And so what do you think was the difference? How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been doing this for 6 years, and it's probably one of the best years so far.
That's great to hear. Now, over the 6 years that you've been doing this, can you describe how it's changed over the 6 years from your experience?
Well, the organization changed dramatically. We have a couple of people that came on board a couple of years ago that really made a difference for us, and they brought the staff to a very different professional level. Just that alone, from an organization standpoint, helped us to have a lot less stress and to run things a lot smoother. From the participation standpoint, which is really great, we are not missing any product out there. We don't have any people wandering around with products and want to deliver stuff when they know or don't know where to go. Things are always available, and that's really helping for everybody to enjoy what they want and get what they want in time.
Okay. Now, are there more exhibits or vendors this year than previous years?
Yes, there's a lot more vendors this year. Last year was a little bit down. There was a little downturn in the economy, and we had maybe not our best festival ever. This year, I think we're going to have a fantastic year. There's about 600 vendors, lots of great artists out there. We have the Association of California Artists that is helping us to bring all the right people in, and very different and talented artists. And talking to a few of them this morning, they were very happy about the first day.
Now, are there any particular exhibits or vendors that are new that you'd recommend?
That's a nice, tricky question.
Yes, it is.
Well, there's a couple of booths that are on close to Dana and Evelyn that I really like. There's the first glass booth is fantastic. They have beautiful pumpkins in blow glass, and it's just beautiful. That's one that I would recommend.
Okay. And have you tried some of the food?
Yes, I did.
What do you like the best?
Well, the swordfish at the Greek booth right on California is really good.
And you don't get swordfish at Greek food swordfish at every art and wine festival, right?
No, you don't. That's kind of unique here.
Yeah. And that's why it's pretty unique. And so, all right, so congratulations on a wonderful festival. Again, it's a nice day.
Thank you.
And you enjoy the festival. And back to you, Kirsten.
It's time now for Los Altos High football. I'm joined by the head coach, Bill Wagner, and their middle linebacker, Tyler Stout. Let's go ahead and start with you, Coach Wagner. Well, high school football season is underway. Recap a little last year's season. How did the Eagles do?
Yeah, so we did very well. We ended up 6-4 overall for the year, and we ended up 5-1 in league, and we were actually tri-champs with Gunn and somebody else I'm forgetting right now, but
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a good season.
Well, I'm sure your focus is on this year's team. What are you looking forward to most about your team this year?
Well, this year we seem to have a group of kids that has a good camaraderie amongst them. We have pretty good expectations this year, and I think the kids do too. We have the most numbers we've had in the last 3 years, so we're expecting pretty good things this year.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure Los Altos football means so much to you because you are a 1981 graduate of the school. Can you talk a little bit about your playing days?
Sure. Yeah, I played at Los Altos. I played football and baseball, and actually I have 3 older sisters that all went to Los Altos too. So we have long roots here, and I was born and raised here. So it means a lot to us. When I played there, it was Los Altos Knights. And it was actually the last year before Mountain View and AWOL merged. So I have great memories from playing then. Lots of good friends that I'm still in touch with.
Well, we just had Nick Navarro, the brand new head coach for St. Francis football, and I asked him what his reaction was like to get the job. You being a graduate, what was your reaction when you got the job 3 years ago to be the Los Altos head coach?
Well, it was very exciting and not something that was totally expected. I actually was hired on as an assistant coach, and a week after I was hired, the head coach resigned, and so I figured at some point I'd like to be the head coach of Los Altos, so maybe now is the time to put my name in the ring, and so I did, and they ended up giving me the job. So I've been thrilled about that. It's really exciting.
Anything about it exceeded your expectations?
Well, Not really. It's been great. You know, it's a learning experience. It takes time to kind of, you know, and I'm finally feeling after into my 3rd year now that I've got a better handle on things, and it's just really kind of neat to, you know, to be standing on the same field that I played on, you know, a few years ago.
I'm sure that would be. What are the must-see games on your schedule this year? Give us 2 games at 2 dates that you think Los Altos fans should definitely come out for.
Okay. Well, the game I know the kids are most excited about is the Mountain View game. It's our first league game, October 1st.
And Dan Navarro's last game. His son just gave
year,
me,
yeah. Now, last year was supposed to be his last year, and so I said
Okay.
I congratulated him last year, and so that one we're really looking forward to. I think that'll be one that we're really targeting for, and. Gosh, I don't know. Monte Vista is another league game that we think will be a good game for us, and that's the following week. So
Okay.
weeks 4 and 5.
Well, I'm going to ask Tyler Stout, senior linebacker for the Eagles. Tyler, what for you? What are the 2 games you're looking at most on the schedule this year?
I'd have to say Mountain View as well. However, I have to say Fremont for the second game. We lost to Fremont, and it's arguable that they took us out of the playoff contention last year, and so that's why we didn't go to the playoffs. So it'd be nice to get some payback. So, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your role on the defense, not just at your position, but being a senior, being one of the veterans of this Los Altos team.
Well, having played last year, I think I have to be a leader on the field and off the field. You know, we have a very solid defense, and we have to try to bring that back this year. And playing middle linebacker, you have to be willing to hit anybody, and just a tough player out there.
What are some of the challenges? I mean, everyone thinks that, oh, when you get to your senior year of high school, everyone's got senioritis. It's so easy. The schedule's so easy. Whenever I talk to senior athletes, they're like, that is not the case.
Yeah, quite the opposite, if you ask me, actually. It's probably my hardest year. I have 4 APs between 7 hours of school, 3 hours of football, and schoolwork. I mean, that's a full day right there, and trying to put sleep in there as well. I mean, I have a hard time trying to balance everything, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and I'd say senior year is probably my favorite year so far.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. What's the goal that you have set for your team this year? Maybe you have not even verbalized that to them, and what are some personal goals that you've set for yourself this season?
Well, to win the division, I think I'd really like to finish first, go to the playoffs. We haven't been in the playoffs in quite a few years. And it'd be an awesome thing to bring back to the high school. My personal goal is to play college and football. I love the game of football. I always have. I have a strong GPA. And I really think I can make a difference on any football team that I go to play for.
Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
Tyler Stout, middle linebacker, the head coach Bill Wagner, also a Los Altos High graduate. And you heard it. Make sure you check out Los Altos and Mountain View High this year. Dan Navarro's perhaps final year. We'll go ahead and say that it is. And Coach Wagner and the Eagles, I'm sure the Spartans, everyone will be up for that one. You're watching KMVT's live coverage of the Mountain View Art and Wine Festival. Plenty of activities going on. Let's check out some of the action on Castro Street.
You know, I found myself surrounded by people looking at this beautiful Lotus, and it occurred to me that one of the advantages of being a TV producer is that you actually get to sit in these things and talk about them, and we're going to learn more about this beautiful Lotus here at the Art and Wine Festival from Carl. Carl, can you... This car is quite low, isn't it?
It is.
Interior is absolutely gorgeous. Now, could you tell me something about this car? It's relatively new, isn't it?
Yeah, the car's been on the market here in the United States for about 6 months now. It's the first new car that Lotus has designed in the last 14 years.
What do you mean by new car?
Well, we have a car that we currently have on sale here in the U.S., the Lotus Exige and the Elise. Those vehicles have been on sale in the U.S. for about 5 years, but they were currently before that on sale in Europe for about 10 years before they were brought here. So up until that point, that's the only car that we've had here. So in the last 14 years, this is the first all-new car that we've designed.
You know, when I came down the street here and looked at this thing, I thought, wow, you know, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, but actually...
It's about $84,000. So considering the car is all 100% handmade in Ethel, England, and it's you know, all handcrafted, hand-stitched, hand-painted, it really represents a bargain. Also considering the fact that less than 800 per year of these will be brought into the United States every year.
Right. And what is the body made of?
The body's made of a composite material that's a fiberglass blend that's vacuum formed. Gives the car a very lightweight body structure, but on the same hand also resists dings and dents.
How much does it weigh?
The car weighs about 2,900 pounds.
And now the crucial question, what does it get to the gallon?
Actually, the fuel economy in our car, that's one of the things that Lotus is very concerned about. We're actually one of the very environmentally concerned sports car manufacturers, and this vehicle is EPA rated at 27 miles to the gallon on the
Wow. What is your targeted market? Who would buy this?
Well, our targeted market is somebody that's done well for themselves, is very successful. You know, we have a lot of families actually are buying this because the car has 4 seats in it. It does have a small back seat.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, you can put child seats back there. So from that standpoint, our market is very broad. So.
Yeah. So you've made about 800 of these this year, is that it?
Actually, so far, the car only went on sale about 6 months ago. And so thus far, really only about 400 units have been brought into the country. So.
Okay. Why did Lotus design such a car with a radical design concept?
Well, the design concept actually follows a lot of our previous designs. There, at least in the Exige, there's a lot of styling cues that are related to those. But one of the things we wanted was a car that was very striking in appearance and caught the attention of anybody that obviously was either walking by or driving by with the car.
Well, it certainly caught my attention. So, Carl, thank you so much for telling us about this and for allowing me to sit in it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Renu here, back again, and with Brian. Hi, Brian. So
Hello.
Tell me about your store. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a family business. My family's been doing tie-dyes for 31 years. My parents started the business. I was born and raised on a hippie commune in the back of a school bus in the backwoods of Tennessee on the farm, which is a very famous hippie commune. And since my parents have retired, I've taken over the business, and now I am supporting my family with the tie-dye business.
So how is the process?
Well, it's tying and dyeing. It's been very popular, as you know, lately. And you take an item and you'll basically very intricately fold it, tie it with rubber bands and or string. We use a lot of string. You get better control and better detail. And that's how I get such intricate designs. And then you dye it with up to 12 colors per item. And it takes about 1 week. So it's a very intricate, detailed process to get something of such detail.
So do you all come up with the designs yourself?
Absolutely. Many of the designs that you'll see here are from my mother. She created many designs, but then since then I've come up with many new designs, and it's just been every day we come up with something new and new ideas, at least, even if it's not executed that day. For example, next week I've got 6 new designs that I'm working on to try and come up with whatever my new design is going to be for this next year. So we're very excited about all the different ones coming up. We're very much into holiday designs. We do pumpkins for Halloween and Christmas trees for Christmas and turkeys for Thanksgiving, and just we try and keep something new for everyone, and it's just been very fun.
So is there any popular designs normally?
Well, right now there's been so many popular ones. The peace sign has really been very popular lately, and just people are very excited about to see that peace is in, and people are animated and happy about it, and it's really nice to see that. I've got a Darth Vader design that I've worked on, and the kids are loving it. It's just Star Wars is so popular, and it's just something that they're very excited about, and the kids come running in and want one, and that's been really fun.
And so are you wearing a kilt?
Yes, it's a kilt. It's a very functional, it's utility kilts. They're out of Seattle, and they're very good. They've got lots of pockets, very handy for working out on the street, very comfortable. And yeah, I love the kilts. They're great.
So do you normally wear them?
I do wear them at work. Whenever I'm at the festivals, I always wear them, and then when I go out and play, I wear them as well. And
can you say that what inspires you to make these designs?
Well, the best inspiration that I have is really the customers and the children, especially. The kids come up with things and they're like, I want something like this, and they come up with some wild idea, and we go from there. And that's really a great inspiration as children. They're always excited, always fun, and they come back every year. They get bigger and want a new one, and it's really a lot of fun. So
how much is a typical t-shirt?
They start off at $16 and go to about $32 for a fancy design. And yeah, so for the amount of work I put into it, I think it's a very good deal. So
do you think with the economy the way it's been, has there been any impact, or has it been business as usual?
Well, of course there's been an impact. It's impacted everyone. And of course we, you know, like I said, we've done this for 3 decades now. And over the years we've seen it go up and down. You know, we have booms, we have busts. And over the years, we've always made it. And as a family business, that's the best you can hope for. You know, when it's down a little bit, it just means we have to work harder. And we're lucky we're able to add an extra show, work a little bit harder, and make it through the next year. And hopefully next year will be better.
Do you come to this Mountain View Art and Wine Festival every year?
We've been at this show for over 20 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this one we have a great history. We
yeah.
have customers coming back for many, many years, and a great fan club here, yes.
Yes, so do you feel that things have changed?
Well, of course things have changed. With time and life as it goes on, everything changes, you know. Now I have a new child, every day is a change. So when you say change, well, what do we mean, you know? Sure, Silicon Valley, it's the center of the internet.com bubble and bust. But it's still great. As you see, there's tons of people out here, and everyone is very excited to be here. So
do you all still do the traditional way with the fairs, or have you all put things online?
We are online, although really we make the bulk of our money at the festivals. This is it. This is time to make hay, and we're here. This is it. We do really with our items and our product, people want to see it and feel it and be a part of it. They want to find the one that talks to them. And that's what's most important. And so online is really, it's hard because it's not as personal. And here you get to come and get personal attention.
Thank you very much. And here's hoping that many more years of Art and Wine Festival booths.
Well, thank you.
KMVT Sports covers a number of sports throughout the school year, joined now by Mountain View High girls basketball. This is their assistant head coach, Chad Zitzner, and I'm here with one of the seniors, Christy Taguma, as well as Allie Watanabe and Tiffany Wooten. We're going to go straight to you, Christy. Mountain View had an outstanding season last year. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, last year we moved up to the De Anza League from the lower league, and so we knew it was going to be difficult moving up. We're kind of like the underdog, so we weren't sure if we were actually going to win championship. But I think through our hard work and determination, no, we were still kind of a young team. We were like juniors and sophomores, kind of like the top players. And so we knew it was going to be difficult, but we pulled it through and we went league championship that year.
Congratulations. And what happened after you won that big league championship? I mean, it must have been such a surprise to some of the other teams in that division since you had been in the El Camino division the year before.
Yeah, well, I would say all the teams in our league were really close. Like, we had a lot of really close games that we won by maybe fewer than 5 points, and each game was a tough game, and I think we just played really well in close situations.
Now, I heard you won a particular game. You guys were down by 20 and came back.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Yeah, it was against Gunn, actually, and they're probably going to be our top competitor this year, too, because they were a young team. But yeah, we're down maybe 20-0, but somehow we just, like, through like hard work, we just pulled it through.
Well, after giving up so many points early on, I'm glad you guys rebounded, so to speak, and came through with the win. Let's send it over to your teammate now, Tiffany. Hey. Tiffany, you're the lone junior here today, and you know, here you were as a sophomore experiencing so much success last year. How did your team make sure that you can equal and duplicate that success this year?
By working hard. We usually have a lot of good conditioning practices, so that will help me throughout this year.
And what is it? Do you feel a little more comfortable now being a junior? You're kind of one of the upperclassmen, the veterans.
Oh, well, I always felt comfortable with my teammates because they were always like making sure I was doing the plays properly and like making sure I was like on their level too and always helping me out. So I've been always feeling comfortable.
Well, good. And as we send it over to your teammate, Allie, one of the seniors here, and I think you might have to use your coach's mic there. And Allie, senior athletes, time management can be such a concern. How do you make sure you're dedicating enough time to both the classroom and the court?
I think we're just going to be really committed, just as we were last year, make all of our practices and try our best in that. And also, since we only lost one of our seniors last year as a starter, we should be as strong or even better because we have a lot of strong junior varsity players coming up this year as well.
Do you feel more pressure?
A little bit, because we have to step up to be the leaders this year. Last year, Abish, who was a senior, she was one of our captains, so a lot of us seniors have to step up this year and help the underclassmen.
What are the goals? I mean, I know it's early. School's just getting underway. You still have some time till you're, fully immersed in practice. But, obviously you all are friends. And what do you all talk about? What will be the focus of this year for you all?
I think we have to just maintain the commitment and the hard work that we had last year in order to be successful again this year.
Okay, and here we are now with assistant coach Chad Zitzner. I understand the head coach couldn't be here today, but there was a message given.
Yeah, she encouraged me to come out and just tell everybody that the kids are going to be out here working hard every day, and they're looking forward to yet another season. Coach O'Clair has always done a really good job of preparing these girls. I've watched them since they were freshmen, big seniors, and I've watched them grow, and they have no fear. They just want to go out there and compete with everybody else and show them that they can do it too.
Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you helping out the team. Tell us a little bit about your coaching background.
I used to be one of the boys' coaches, ran the boys' team for a little over a year, and also ran the frosh soft team for about 10 years. So I've grown up in Mountain View with these, as a coach with these guys. And I've just been around them. I've even trained Chrissy in the off season previously as well as Allie. And they do everything they're asked.
Well, they are very modest young women. Would you like to perhaps shed a little insight in what makes them such special players one by one?
Well, I think that Chrissy literally has no fear. I mean, she scores probably the majority of her points inside, and her nickname is Little Bit because she's the smallest girl on the team, yet she goes up against the girls that are 6 foot. We have no height at all with us. Tiffany just busts her butt inside, and like she said, last year she felt so comfortable being on varsity, and she did everything that was asked of her, and didn't care if she was on the bench. She'd be cheering for her teammates, and when she came in, she gave a big spark for the team. And Allie's been great for the team. She comes through with a big three when needs be, but she's also one of our post players. And considering she's definitely not the size, she's never griped about it. She goes in and does what's asked of her. It's great.
Well, we at KMVT can't wait to cover Mountain View girls basketball this year. We have a few months, but we will be out there in full force. Coach Zitzner and the rest of the girls, thank you so much for joining us here today. You are watching live coverage here on KMVT of the 39th Annual Art and Wine Festival. Let's send it out into the crowd and check in with one of our reporters. Kirsten Fairchild's Jim 2 back live here at the corner of Castro and Church Street at the KMVT booth. We want to give a special thanks and kudos to all of our reporters out in the field today. Bobby Chastain, Josh Young, Christina Hagen, John Vink, Renee Kumar, and Mel Van Dusen. Thanks so much to all of you. Well, we're wrapping things up here. Our live 2-hour coverage is coming to an end, but the Art and Wine Festival is still going strong. Jim, I know that as soon as we're out of these chairs, we're going to go out and meet some people and enjoy the crowd.
Oh yeah, and thank you for letting me be the Sonny to your share, your captain to your...
No singing.
Just the awesome charisma. Just to bask in your awesome charisma.
Oh, you're fun. So, the artists here, I mean, we've had a chance to explore so much of this Art and Wine Festival, and really, this has become the go-to destination for craftsmen, for artists, for vintners, for beer makers, what's the technical term? Breweries, but also, you know, for booths that set up enjoyment for children, activities for children. I mean, they all want to be a part of this Art and Wine Festival. It's really tremendous.
Yeah, I think it speaks well for our community that, you know, artists can feel comfortable and they want to come here, and that people from all over the Bay Area want to come here. And you know, it's a wonderful community, and you're all invited. Come on down.
Yeah, that is for sure. And Jim, well, final thoughts. What will you take away most? What will you remember most from this day?
You know what? I would think just everyone seemed to have a lot of fun. You know, not one crying baby. Of all the people, I haven't seen one crying baby. I'm sitting next to the bumpers and the rock climbing, you know, and not one crying baby.
You know, that is an excellent point. We had one broken wine glass, not on this set, but that we could hear. But you're right. There's plenty of happy, shiny people here today.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's not all chemical. It's the natural high.
It is the natural high, fresh air, sunshine, and all for a good cause. Remember, this is the biggest fundraiser for the Mountain View Chamber of Commerce. It's been going 39 years strong, this festival, and it sure has been a lot of fun to be a part of. On behalf of the Executive Director of KMVT, that's Brian Zabo, and the Producer Director today, Bobby Chastain, our hard-working crew, thank you so much to everyone who helped make this possible, our reporters, and finally, thanks to you, Jim.
Thank you.
I'm Kirsten Fairchild. So long from Castro Street. We'll see you next year at the 40th Annual Mountain View Art and Wine Festival. Take care, everyone.